Welcome to the Own Your Family, where real stories and proven formulas are shared about leaving the rat race so you can achieve freedom and spend more quality time with your family. Get ready, mompreneurs and dadpreneurs, to get inspired by earning from home, living healthy, and aspiring for more in life with your hosts, Renat and Katrina.
Big predictions. James Altucher. Prediction is very difficult, especially about the future. Niels Bohr. In 2013, I tweeted that Bitcoin is a fad or a scam or a Ponzi scheme or worse. To this day, trolls on Twitter won't let me live it down. It took me a few months after the tweet to figure out the consequences of Satoshi Nakamoto's white paper. That same year, I admitted my mistake and embraced Bitcoin. In fact, I was the first author in the world to accept Bitcoin for my book, Choose Yourself. I called Bitcoin the Choose Yourself currency on MSNBC. I believed it, and I still do. Look, I've been wrong a lot in my life, but you only need to be right about a few things to make a fortune. I was wrong about Bitcoin, but I won't be wrong about the next $1 trillion coin. Even though I was wrong, I've made a fortune in cryptocurrencies. Maybe it took you a while to warm up to crypto. Maybe you think you're too late. You are wrong. We are all wrong. If this book will show you anything, it's that you are allowed to be wrong. To err is human. To course correct and keep going is divine. And you only need to be right a couple of times to make a fortune. The mother of all booms. Historians will one day call today's cryptocurrency market the biggest boom ever. This is the greatest tectonic shift in money and wealth that we will see in our lifetimes. It won't always be a smooth path, and there will be setbacks. In 2017, right in the middle of the crypto bull market, I wrote an article with 10 of my biggest cryptocurrency predictions. Number 1, at least one country's currency will likely fail soon, probably Argentina's or Venezuela's. I believe this event will lead to massive adoption of Bitcoin within that country. Bitcoin could rise more than $50,000 when it happens. El Salvador is first, and who is next? Number 2, mainstream banks will accept Bitcoin. They'll also begin offering storage and software access. More importantly, I believe they'll also create cryptocurrency derivatives, as the CME is about to start doing. CME is the world's leading derivatives marketplace. Number 3, there will be a crash and 95% of cryptos will go away. Just like what happened with the dot-com bust. But the surviving coins will survive and shoot even higher. It happened on a smaller scale and will happen again on a larger scale. Number 4, everyone thinks the government wants to kill cryptos. But I believe the US governments will secretly begin to accumulate one of the smaller cryptocurrencies. That makes it easier for gray area transactions with other countries that the government wants to remain secret. This has already started happening but will increase in 2018, and this is definitely accelerated. Number 5, China will invest heavily in another cryptocurrency, but I don't think it will be Bitcoin. It will want a cryptocurrency competitive with Bitcoin, but that it can centrally control. China's adoption will provide legitimacy to all cryptocurrencies. China now has its own CBDC. Number 6, one major problem with cryptocurrencies now is their volatility. Bitcoin can swing hundreds of dollars a day. I expect at least one crypto-based coin to dramatically reduce that in 2018. Stablecoins are ubiquitous. More companies will pay freelancers with crypto. That will lead to renewed calls for tax reform. Greater regressive sales taxes will be called for, which will ultimately require government cuts and eventually less power for national governments. This is a more of a long-term prediction. Several professional sports stars are getting paid in Bitcoin, and that's just the beginning. Number 8. In the same way the internet changed the phone industry monopoly, crypto will undermine the monopolization of government-backed money. This will be an ongoing process, and it's happening now. Number 9, a new government bureaucracy will be created to analyze regulation of cryptocurrencies. This will ironically lead to a huge upswing in Bitcoin and other cryptos that provide real utility, and it's happening now. And number 10, thousands of crypto companies will be created, but only a few will be massive successes. It's those survivors that I'm focused on. 4 years later, I haven't changed my mind. In my eyes, nothing has changed. I wouldn't change a word of these predictions. All that's really changed is the cryptocurrency space has gotten more dynamic. So here are my updated predictions. Ethereum will be the next trillion-dollar coin, hitting $100,000 before 2023. DeFi tokens are to banking what BTC or Bitcoin was to currency. Banking is a quadrillion-dollar industry if you take into account derivatives. Long-term, therefore, crypto is a quadrillion-dollar industry. Tokenization via crypto will lead to thousands of new business models. Example, tokenizing future income to help pay for college loans. You can use crypto to buy 10% of a student's future income. Why use crypto? So an exchange can be created and people can buy and sell these derivatives. Governments will start to convert their currencies to stable coins, and this will require the ETH platform or other platforms similar to ETH. People will revert to DeFi tokens to take advantage of the special yields and arbitrage situations these coins create, as opposed to leaving money in a 0.5% paying savings account. Bitcoin will replace gold as a store of value, which will give it about a $300,000 to $500,000 price. And this is also something we predicted back in 2017. The problem with crypto is it's hard to buy BTC and other crypto. My mother is not going to do it right now. It's too difficult. Last year, there were 20,000 Bitcoin ATMs in the US. Now there are 40,000. There are 422,000 regular ATMs in the US. So Bitcoin is just 10% of those. But exponential growth could mean Bitcoin gets a lot larger market share over the next years. And this makes getting Bitcoin a lot easier. In this book, we'll cover all the new mega trends, everything from the Bitcoin Lightning Network and NFTs to quantum computing, DeFi, and more. They're where the real fortunes will be made. Around 5% of cryptos are legitimate and will be here to stay. Think of Amazon. Yes, it was a creature of the dot-com craze of the 1990s, but while most of the other collapsed and were never heard from again, Amazon is still around and doing better than ever. If you miss out, you could be cheating yourself out of the only chance you will ever have to turn a single $100 bill into an absolute fortune. Those who understand what's going on are already making life-changing fortunes. But if you fear you've missed the Bitcoin boom, don't worry, this trend is just getting started. But you must first do your due diligence in understanding this space inside out. And that's how myself and my team can help. So welcome to what we're calling the third inning. The third inning, Chris Campbell. I have only one superstition. I touch all of the bases when I hit a home run. Babe Ruth. We are approaching the third inning of crypto. Understanding what this means and why you should care will give you an unfair advantage. Not understanding it, or worse, misunderstanding it, however, could set you up for death by 1,000 burns. This is the most tumultuous time to be an investor in the crypto space, especially for those prone to panic. Why? Because the coming months and years are going to have the highest level of friction, manipulation, shakedowns, fear, doom, gloom, crackdowns, and more. There are 3 things you need to know about what's to come. These 3 will be true for the next decade. 3 things you need to know. Number 1, inning 1 for the cryptocurrency market is over. Inning 2, where we are at now, is laying the foundation for inning 3, which is where the real wealth will be created. Number 3, smart investing and patience will win out in 3, not luck. Inning 1, the year of the ICO. 2017 was in many ways the year of the initial coin offering. It was like an IPO for crypto projects, except they gave no equity, just coins. If you're lingering around the space in 2017, you know the deal. Teams of developers and yes, scammers that couldn't raise any money the traditional way went the ICO route, and many of them raised tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. For the record, out of principle, we never talked about any specific ICOs back then. 99% of the time, the only people who made money were those who got in before the ICO. They were the advisors and investors who got tokens for free or for 90% off. By the time the ICO happened and the small fish got in, the early guys dumped on them and run. We saw this happen early on and began warning people not to do any ICOs. Also, the writing was on the wall. We knew the regulators were going to step in on ICOs. Sure enough, they did. That brought us into inning 2. Inning 2, regulatory shakedown. Inning 2 arrived when the SEC announced they could consider all token ICO securities. The force that pushed us into the second inning, James said, was the SEC when they announced that they could consider all token ICO securities. In other words, tokens could suddenly be treated like stock offerings. People go to jail for violating these laws, so it's not surprising that the free-wheeling, unbridled money grab dried up. This was necessary if we wanted to see this new asset class become an established part of commerce, law, and finance. As much as we love the thrill of being in the wild, wild west, crypto wouldn't remain in the fringes without clear signals from regulators. Although decentralized exchanges, DEX, are on the rise, regulation of location-based exchanges was all but inevitable, which is why exchanges like Binance have been nimble on their feet, moving from country to country when it suits them. Inning 2 then is about accumulating the best, those that will weather the regulatory storms and come out stronger. This lays the foundation for inning 3. Inning 3, flooded with institutional capital. The smart money has been inching into this space for years. The past few years have seen an explosion of investment. All of this is small potatoes compared to what's coming next. But it won't happen overnight. A lot of the real money will be made by getting in and sitting tight, as James has put it elsewhere. Smart money managers, banks, and financial firms are positioning themselves to invest in cryptocurrencies, but they have strict regulations regarding how they invest, audit trails, how investments are secured and held, and the way they must securely store their investments. While the infrastructure is being built out, you have the opportunity to get in before the flood. The bottom line, welcome to inning 3. It's presenting a heck of an opportunity for those who have missed the chance to get into cryptos during the first phase of growth. This kind of opportunity will not come later as the crypto market matures. Inning 3 is the convergence of the major trends making up what's next or what's set to become a quadrillion-dollar market. DeFi, Web3, NFTs, crypto gaming, the metaverse, and much more. We're currently on the ground floor, so don't waste this opportunity.
Thanks for listening. Join our online family by signing up for your free account at www.ownyourfamily.com and begin your journey to freedom. Want to get there faster? Book a strategy call with us at ownyourfamily.com/book a call. As always, be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to our podcast and channel so you never miss a future episode.